What's going on, guys, and welcome to Rabbit's Used Cars. I'm going to tell you something. This mouth has opened a lot of doors for me. It's got me in a lot of trouble, too. Between this mouth and this brain, it's a battle every day. I deal with a lot of very well-off people, obviously dealing with classic cars. You know, you got a lot of guys, these are just toys for them. You know, they don't have just one, they have several classic cars. And I was that guy for a long time. And, you know, I had my cars I sold, and I had my cars. It's almost silly in my line of work. I don't want to sound, numb, but I am. You know, you gotta understand, at the end of the day, I still get excited when we get a new car in, you know, and I think the excitement is seeing someone else get it. It's almost like, it's like Christmas, like giving a gift, you know, like the whole idea is not what you're gonna get back, it's seeing that person's face with it. I love to sell. And the thing is, I drive what I sell. People don't want to see me having fun in my cars. They want to see me out riding around, and that's when, man, I want that. That's how I sell these things. But like I said, I have a customer, I have several repeat customers that they just come back and buy. And, you know, they're call you up every few months. What you got down there at the warehouse, Rabbit? What you up to, Rob? Hey, Mr. Celebrity, what you got down there for sale? Hey, I seen where you posted this picture on Instagram. I see where you posted this picture on Facebook. Tell me about that. Tell me about this. What about that? And the thing is, I tell them all about it because I am a born salesman. First, one thing in this world I know beyond a shadow of a doubt I am is a salesman, and a decent one at it. I joke with people all the time about collector car sales, and I tell them I have the best job in the world. I literally wake up every morning. Well, I usually say an extra part of that, but that's something totally different. I can't say that on YouTube. But I wake up every morning, I sip a cup of coffee, I check my phone, I roll in from the lake, and I play cars all day long. Make videos for you guys. I get in my car and I go home. And I have the best job ever. It won't make you rich, but it makes you a good living. And I enjoy what I do. I truly enjoy it. It has its headaches from time to time, but I'm passionate about it. I love it. I get to do what I love. I love these old cars. I love just dealing cars. I love it. I love it. From a Model T to a damn OBS truck and everything in between. I love them. So anyway, back to my cars, which was silly because my cars just sit. My cars usually never even sat in this building because they're not for sale. I know, right? Rabbit has something that's not for sale. And I would keep them in my truck shop. I would just keep them, and they would just stay covered in dust. I'd get them out every once in a while, you know, just if we had an event or something, like, hell, I'll dust this off and drive it or whatever. I mean, it's just silly. You know, as much as I preach to you guys about making money and making smart moves, that wasn't a smart move on my part. I didn't necessarily need to sell them, but they didn't need to be sitting. You gotta understand about a car is like a person. If you sit around, you're gonna deteriorate. I don't care where it's at, you know, what garage you got it in, what car cover you got on it. If it sits, it's just gonna break sitting there. It's gonna wither. And that's not cool. You know, somebody needs to be driving, enjoying these things. And, you know, also it's a lot of money sitting there. I had this customer that comes in and every time, how about that dime piece of yours? Boy, I'd love to have that black GMC truck. And I said, buddy, money can't buy it. I said, I ain't gonna say I won't sell it one day, but today ain't the day. And he'd come in, I'd give 50 grand for that truck. And I said, I bet you would. No, don't want to. He'd come in, he goes, man, I like that truck. And I tell him a little background story, bought a Barrett Jackson, yada, yada, yada. 1 of 1, factory documented, big block, short bed, absolutely perfect in every way, and it was. Probably one of the nicest original C10s in the country, hands down. As told by Craig Jackson himself, even said that. But I didn't want to sell it. One time in my life, just one for sale. I was automatically programmed, not for sale. I had it over here at the warehouse. We actually did an indoor car show. And that tickles me. We had a local builder call me up and be like, man, I want your dime piece in my show exhibit at this indoor car show. It was a Motor Trend car show thing. And he said, I mean, it's pretty bad. They didn't build it, but they wanted it there. That's how nice it was. Hey, I'll dust the old girl off. So we had her cleaned up. Hell, I zipped her over to the convention center. You know, had a great weekend. You know, I hung out with those guys and seeing old baby under the lights. I mean, I think she's clean. It's perfect. I mean, just this immaculate truck, probably the nicest 72-mile vehicle on the planet. Got her all cleaned up and drove it back and parked it right here in the back of the building. Didn't touch it again for 6 months, covered in dust. Didn't sit in it, didn't touch it, just covered in dust. Same guy calls back up. He goes, man, just sell me that truck. You killing me. He said, every time I come in there, it's just covered in dust. He goes, I'd drive that truck and enjoy it. And he said, I really like it. And I said, you'd drive it? And he said, yeah, I would. I said, well, let me think. Now, I just sold him a really nice Camaro. First gen. And he goes, you know, I'd even do a little trading on that truck. And I said, I ain't interested in trading. He said, man, I'm telling you. He said, I want that truck. He said, well, put a price on it. So I did. A good one. A really good one. He goes, it's mighty strong. I said, go find me another one. I'm not trying to sell it. He goes, let me think on it. I said, think all you want. It ain't going anywhere, bud. Didn't advertise it. Didn't anything. Just between me and him. I want to ride down there. Hey, you know where I'm at? Come see me. Comes riding down in a gorgeous bright red first gen Camaro that I sold him, convertible. He goes, I want that truck. Covered in dust. He goes, man, I want it. And you can just see it. Told you what it'd take for it. He goes, how would you trade on the Camaro? I told him. And I really figured the deal was so slanted that he wasn't going to take it. And I didn't want to negotiate. I didn't want nothing. You know, I'm ready to lock the doors. Let's go grab some lunch and call it a day. And he goes, I think I'm just going to take it. Back to this mouth getting me in trouble. But that being said, now a little time has passed. I can tell you about the deal. You see C10s sell at Bear Jackson. And keep in mind, when you start talking about six-figure C10 selling at Bear Jackson, there's a small group of them. And I will say this, I'm not going to air the man's business because it's nobody's business but my own. But this is a lesson to you guys about these damn cars and what they can do. You know, the story I told you about, you know, my 63 Falcon Sprint, I sold that car and it was a down payment on my first house. I owned the dime piece for 5 years. I drove it, I enjoyed it. It sat the majority of the time. It was well bought. I did my research, I did my homework. I knew I was buying the best one around when I bought it. I bought it when the market was low. I sat on it when the market, sat on it. And C10s are hot, 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 hot. Everybody's got to have one. And you got the one that no one else will ever have one like it. I will never own, unless I buy that one back, I will never own, and anything's possible, I will never own another C10 like that one, period. But the thing you got to understand, you know, like I said, we're talking about those six-figure sales. I owned that truck for 5 years. I drove it and enjoyed it. Never lost a nickel. I put a set of wheels on it, I lowered it. Actually, put 2 sets of wheels on it. But I cleared well over 6 figures. And I'm talking better than most Bear Jackson numbers. There's a few C10s that probably brought a little more than that. But that's the definition of well bought. You got to think, you know, a truck that I bought 5 years ago for $28,000, which was all the money that truck was worth then. But I sat on it, took care of it. I enjoyed my investment. It was insured. Something did happen to it. But I enjoyed my investment, and it grew. And the thing is, I get paid to sell cars. That's what I do. That's my job. But the thing you understand is, as an individual or a guy that's in the hobby, that's where I preach the collector car hobby to people that could you imagine having an $80,000-$90,000 windfall like that? That's life changing. But that's the thing I preach to people is the money that can be made. I'm not saying you need to run out and be a collector car salesman, but I'm just saying it's so neat to have something that you could take the honey out to dinner in, take it to a car show, post pictures on your Facebook, and know that if you remotely take care of it, it's going to make you money. A little something to think about next time you think about, oh, hell, I don't need to buy that old car. That's just silly money. That's just wasted money. We'll catch you next time at Rabbit's Used Cars. You know, that's the whole idea. You're advertising what you sell. Cough. Anyway,